Hello and welcome back to Dawn Chorus Writes, a Miraculous fanfic and audiofic. This is a special two-parter written by Jheqia, narrated by Dawn myself. Hello! And it is for fall Christmas. So I hope you enjoyed part 1. This is now part 2, as lucky as me. And make sure you go and give Jheqia extra love for doing the art in the thumbnail and for writing it. All her information is listed down below where you can find her other writing pieces. Make sure you send me some love by smashing that like button. Comment down below what you think of it and what you thought of the conclusion, because there is not a part 3. And make sure you subscribe so you do not miss out on further one-shots and series that are happening at the moment and to come in the new year. And enjoy. Part 2. It was Christmas Day, well, night really, and Kat waited nervously on their favourite rooftop, pacing back and forth in a vain attempt to relieve the anxious spiral running through his head. What is LB gonna say? She trusted Marinette, even if she had to tell her she couldn't use a Miraculous again. Though that never made much sense to me. She was amazing. The plan went off without a hit, and she was only trying to make sure she did everything right, not knowing that I was supposed to know. Oh, and she was so cute with her hair up in buns and a pink and grey suit. I wonder what she looks like in it now. No, Ladybug can't be too angry about it. Oh, what a mess. Something bothering you, Kat? Or are you just frustrated you can't climb the Christmas tree without giving yourself away? He knew that voice, but he should have heard her coming up behind him. He was so worried about Marinette that he couldn't focus. Yeah, something's bothering me, LB, he said softly. As he turned to look at his partner, he saw a gift bag in her hand, her fingers nervously running over the handle. What's that? She rolled her eyes. Your Christmas present? It's kind of what people give to those they care about at this time of year. He groaned and slapped himself in the forehead. Oh, I forgot your present, Bug. I've been so caught up in this situation, I completely forgot. She walked over to him and gave him a little scratch on the back of his neck, her soft smile slowing the anxiety spiraling through him. It's okay, kitty. Here, let's have a seat. You can open your present and then we can talk about it, okay? We will find a solution together. He nodded vaguely and sat down. Ladybug sat down next to him and placed the gift bag in his hands. With a smile and a sigh, he opened the bag. There was a folded bundle of dark fabric inside. He pulled it out to find a black jacket with a double AA in a fancy font over the hat that shone with gold thread in the amber glow of the city lights. No! I must have gotten the back switched! Ladybug cried, reaching out to jerk the jacket away from him. He refused to let it go, because he was too stunned by the note pinned to the front. To Adrien, with love. His heart hopped, and full to bursting, he hugged the jacket to his chest as happy tears sprang in his eyes. Oh, Kitty, I'm so sorry. I got your present confused with someone else. I didn't mean to, but I have been so busy lately, and I haven't been getting much sleep, and... Unwilling to restrain himself any longer, Kat pulled her into a tight hug. It's been you! All this time? My princess! She gasped and tried to pull away, but he held her close. Kat! I don't... What? Ow! He laughed, shaking them both with his hysteria. I wanted her to be you for so long, but I had given up hope that... And last night, Last night? Her voice was so soft and high that she practically whisper-shrieked. Of course! He shook his head as the tangled web they had woven around themselves for so long. I was panicking over telling you that Marinette had found out my identity, only to find out that the only 2 women I have ever loved were one and the same. Now all is left is to know." He pushed her slightly away and forced her to look him in the eye. "Am I right, princess?" She blushed darkly in the city glow, and the lights that rested on his shoulders were trembling. "Right about what?" He leaned in until the barest tips of his nose brushed hers. Her breath was coming in short, nervous pants. Her eyes were as wide as the ocean, and her pupils dark whirlpools that he could willingly drown in. "That you love both sides of me, the way I love both sides of you," he murmured, his hand drifting up to hold her face, his thumb caressing the blushes that peeked out from under her mask. "Adrien?" His name was mere breath ghosting across his face, but it sent bolts of lightning along his nerves. "It's been you. This whole time. It's been you." His heart too full for words, he nodded, causing his nose to brush against hers once more. Her breath stuttered in her chest. "This whole time? All these years? You were pining after Ladybug, and I made a fool of myself over you for so long," she exclaimed, hiding her face in her hands as her whole frame trembled with sobs. He pulled her into a comforting embrace, rubbing circles on her back. "No more than I did, Bugaboo. Like I said, I always wanted you to be my lady. I just figured I wasn't nearly that lucky. And when I finally got it through my thick skull that I was just hurting both of us by pursuing Ladybug, well, when I finally let go, I fell hard and fast for you. I couldn't help it. Sweet and strong, brilliant, beautiful, amazing, talented, and one of the most steadfast people I know. And that is without being Ladybug. You have been there for me every time I needed you, inside the mask or out, even when I was probably breaking your heart as you were breaking mine. Can you forgive me, Marinette?" "Of course. You couldn't know. I never imagined to tell you how I felt until last night. But can you forgive me? I spent 2 years pushing you away for you. I hurt you so badly." "Even if you had told me before, Marinette, I had to let go of Ladybug in my heart first. I fought off my feelings for you for ages, convinced that Ladybug was what I wanted. I still love LB, but it is more of a fondness, as partners, as friends, as my first love. You have no idea how long I spent kicking myself for every time I called you a friend, knowing now how drawn to you I've always been. And Plague has been nagging me for years about you, even at the..." He stopped and felt all the blood rushing from his face in shock before rushing back with vengeance. Now it was his turn to slap his face into his hands. "I can't believe I asked you to be my wingman on my date with Kagami. No wonder you asked Luca to come with you. No wonder you looked sick and left." More realizations exploded in his mind like fireworks show. He was sure his face was burning enough to launch them. And that time at the wax museum, you were practicing confessing, weren't you? And I had to play that stupid prank because Nino said you didn't want to be around me, and you kissed me, and I was an idiot and jumped away, and then you were upset in the car after I said something about the girl I love, and you never knew I meant Ladybug. You. He shook her slightly to emphasize who he meant. Oh, Marinette, I'm... As his lady often did, she took him by surprise. Of all the times Adrien had dreamt of being kissed by Ladybug or Marinette, he had never expected it to shut him up mid-anxiety spiral. But now he understood exactly how she must have felt. Having her grab his face and crash her lips into his with all the heat of the forest fire, overwhelming him with her scent of cinnamon and vanilla, was enough to make his heart stop. The explosion of heat and longing in his chest ripped through him like a wave, causing a long-forgotten purr to stutter to life in his chest. He fell back under her passionate force, hitting the roof with a painful thud that he didn't mind in the slightest. Cat, I'm... Cradling her face in his hands, he placed his thumb on her lips to silence her as he caught his breath. No more apologies, my lady. Can I take it that Cat is the other someone in your heart? Her whole face turned a deep pink and she nodded. And Adrien was always my other boy. His heart leapt at her simple confession. The happy laugh that burst forth from him made her smile widen until it filled her rosy face. She slapped him slightly on the shoulder before sitting up to give him more space. We've made a tangled mess since the beginning, huh? Yeah, he said, his laugh dying to a chuckle. I mean, me trying to move on from you, so I asked you to help me date Kagami? You asking Cat to help you practice your confession to Buttercup? He suddenly sat up, nearly hitting his forehead with his own. Wait a minute! Adrien was... I'm Buttercup? She nodded, a weird smile tugging at her mouth. She was biting her lip, and it was clear she was trying not to laugh. I was jealous of myself twice? That was enough to open the floodgates, and her sweet petals of laughter rang out like bells in the night. All he could do was stare at her in wonder. This beautiful, amazing girl who had won his heart twice. Throwing his arms around her, he held her close as his laughter joined hers. When it finally died away, he sighed and nuzzled her cheek with his nose. You were right, my lady. About what? She asked, nudging closer in his embrace. Your first gift? He murmured in contentment. You know, I never thought I was lucky until I met you. Now, tonight, I don't think there is anyone in the world as lucky as me. Aww, that's so sweet. I hope you liked it. The final part of this little mini-series by Jheqia. Make sure you go and send her some love. Make sure you send me some love if you enjoyed it by smashing that like button. Send me some Christmas love. And make sure you... comment down below what you thought of it, and make sure you subscribe so you do not miss out on other one-shots and other series that are happening at the moment. And may I say a very Merry Christmas, and I hope you have a good time of year, and all the best, and bye.